I'm fine, really. 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 Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Two Nerds, One Quest. I'm your host and DM, JC Dittmer, here with these three nerds, because math is hard. That man grinning, because, wow, our timing was impeccable today, is one Tom M. Norman playing Doug this morning. How are you, buddy?
I am fantastic, and of course, that was 100% purely by accident.
That's amazing. Like, we're in sync now. Like, we've done this enough that... Yeah, no.
I was hoping to catch you. I'm gonna be honest. I was hoping to get you.
Cycles are lined up, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. That man right there taking a sip from his tasty beverage this morning is one Ryan Griggs' Hey, we were born. Me and Tom were born in the same month, so I mean, like, our cycles have been lined up for a while.
Right on time. I get it.
So much so
same
that
month, same month, different year.
Yeah, you look at our emojis that you can do. There's one of them that is just me and Tom being 12-year-old girls. Yep. That was literally the conversation before the picture was taken. That last voice you heard is one Jacob Williams. How are you doing this morning, bud?
Good. Got a little sore from setting up the pool. Too much squatting and crawling around outside, getting that thing going.
I've been there. We set up a permanent pool, though. That was last year, but I was sore for the entire week after we got it up.
Mm-hmm. So, good day for mowing the lawn, though. So, that'll hopefully stretch those muscles.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But before you can mow the lawn, we got some D&D to play here, buddy. You got a recap from last week?
Yeah, let's mow down some baddies, I guess. Last week started out with a very amazing belch pre-show from JC that I just missed, so I got to see it on the recap and went, how did I miss that by 2 seconds? So anyway, in campaign, Doug flew over to the easternmost tower and found in the upper window an iced woman on a throne with a tentacle crown. Sent a message using his pair ability to Crixus to come on over. Jacob summoned 8 axe beaks, so we had something to ride. Came on over. Found buckets and mops full of pitch in the first layer, wine bottles in the second layer. Each layer had messages that seemed to get creepier and creepier the higher we went. The woman in the throne seemed to still be alive, but we decided not to mess with her. But we got our next message that said, "Fourth, coax a secret from another." So we left her alone, headed northwest, found on the way there was a big purple hand that we avoided. At the next tower, the walls were burned and had acid marks. The whole place was frozen, lots of icicles. So we decided to light a brazier, and after 10 minutes, we could read the message that was hidden under the ice. It said, "Fifth, quench the flame in thy palm with ice." Unfortunately, the melting ice also revealed 8 gelatinous cubes hiding in alcoves, so we decided to get out of there. Headed towards an obelisk that had runes with the schools of magic on them. It was cracked, and none of us really had an idea what to do with it. So we headed on towards the west, avoiding roaming Nothics, crazy wizard monsters. Found a theater where we took some masks and a script, and headed to a menagerie where there was a strange mechanical wheel that we didn't quite figure out what was going on with it. And that's where we ended last show. So for your enjoyment, in the tower that had the red glow, a brazier revealed what we needed to know. But 8 cubes gelatinous made our decision unanimous. Thankfully, they are really slow.
You rhymed gelatinous with unanimous.
I did.
That is
It's like the nasty
Excellent.
Nas of Dungeons and Dragons.
When
Yeah,
you
I
said
mean,
gelatinous, I'm like, where the hell is he gonna go?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I figured gelatinous was safer to rhyme with than cubes. So yeah.
Cubes might have been more fun to rhyme with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of several.
Revealing the cubes, this quartet of boobs ran from. Anyway, a menagerie. An immense dome that you have walked into with a crystal roof that is marred by a web of cracks. And you can see out it into the outside. Before you is this, it's a 10-foot diameter iron wheel, and it's up on its, or actually it's laying on its side down on the ground, sorry. It's held above a metal brace. There are like these 8 huge barrel-sized, egg-shaped containers at the ends of its spokes. There's a bronze control panel and a lever next to it. You guys investigated this, right? You were spending some time looking at it. And our rolls went very poorly, didn't they? Or did we make rolls?
Yeah, I think Valine rolled a 1 and a 2.
A 1 and a 2. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so she has no idea what it is. If any of you would like to make an Arcana check.
I've got a
Just
plus
keep-
3 in Arcana. It's not
I
great.
mean, it's unlikely I'll know it, so I'll try to give you advantage by helping you remember what this might be.
Sure.
All right. You said Arcana? Sorry, I was
Yeah.
checking the audio.
Okay.
It is Arcana.
Oh, advantage got me 15.
15 is just enough.
18.
You're not sure, either one of you, what it does specifically. You know how it operates. You understand that the receptacles are for blood. And then there's like lines that you can see that like fill lines for each of the receptacles. And translating this to game mechanics, you understand that you need about 80 hit points worth of blood divided amongst the 8 containers. 10 hit points of blood in each container. And then you pull the lever and it does something. But you don't know what it does exactly.
I don't think I'm willing to give up 80 hit points of blood to experiment.
Yeah.
I do not have 80 hit points of
Yeah.
blood.
That's the other thing is you would have to literally drain me and then squeeze me like a wet rig.
I don't think it needs to be all from one being, Valine says.
Hmm.
I'm not willing to try it, though. She says, follows it up right away. I'm not willing to part with any of my blood for this. That seems like a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, that's especially
I'll
since
do
we
it.
don't know what any of this is for.
Correct.
You want to find out what's in there?
Do you have enough sustenance to activate this?
I mean, I can heal you halfway through.
I will play the part, however. That's probably the best way to go about it.
How many times can you summon Tika?
I'm not.
Does Tika bleed, technically?
I mean, I think so, but once she dies, she disappears. I would assume all of the evidence of her disappears too.
I would allow you to bleed her within 1 point. That makes sense to me, that if she actually died, it would all go away, so she'd need at least 1 hit point left.
Okay, she's got 50, so 49.
So 49. So you guys need to come up with 31 more.
I'll do the 31.
Can you do 31, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Crixus will
All
say
right.
Well,
whatever it takes to get this contraption moving.
Doug, so I can't let you do that, Crixus. I will help you and take half.
Okay, so Crix is going to take 16 and Doug
All
takes
right.
15.
This time I'll summon I'll summon Tika as a poison.
Okay.
Oh no, that doesn't make a whole. Well, yeah, I'll summon her as with a poison essence.
All right. So you summon Tika.
I'll explain to her what's going on, and this is gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me.
Make an animal handling check. You're trying to convince a creature to bleed out its essence. It's gonna be where.
Okay, could have been worse. It worked out. 17.
17. Okay, that is yes. It is
Is
good
that one
enough
of
for
her
your
commands?
bond with Tika and
Tika,
her
We've been-
trust in you.
We've been pals for a while.
Yep. And she kind of has an understanding that she will come back, even if she dies. She's been through that again. She goes to her other place and then comes back.
Hmm.
So you take the time to bleed Tika into each of these, and 16 points of damage to Crixus and 15 points of damage to Doug. You have all 8 of these cylinders or egg-shaped containers to the fill line with blood.
After
Who
we
wants to
bleed,
pull the lever?
oh, hold on. After we
Okay.
bleed, I'm
Yep.
going to heal both Crixus and I back up. So Crixus take 15 back. I'm using my points. What are they called?
Lay on hands.
Yeah, whatever that is. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, my lay on hands.
Perfect.
So who is pulling the lever is the question.
Well, I say we let Crixus do it. He's the one that bled the most. Well, I mean, I guess Tika technically bled the most, but go ahead,
Crixus is going to take a moment to compose himself. He's not going to pull the lever.
Oh,
Jacob?
Man, we did this for a reason. If no one else is going to pull the lever, I'll pull the lever.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have an issue
Okay.
pulling it either. Let's do it
Well-
together, hand on hand.
All right, you
Are you
first.
pulling it together?
we're gonna we're gonna Dutch rudder the lever.
I'll let Doug do it. Unless he's not strong enough.
Did I get you, John? Did I get you, John?
A little bit, yeah. Okay, Doug, you're pulling your lever.
I don't think I
I
got to do
feel
it
like
by
Doug's
myself.
lever's not big enough for 2 hands.
We are an adult show, folks.
No, we're not.
Are we though?
Well, it feels like we're 15, yeah.
Bunch of teenage boys.
Yep, exactly.
Oh my god.
All right. Doug, you pull the lever. A couple of things happen when you pull the lever. You pull the lever, the timer gauge sets. It goes from being at 0, it winds all the way up to 8. At the same time, the wheel starts spinning. And it keeps spinning. And you sit there kind of waiting for something to happen, and it spins for about a minute. And then comes to a stop. When it comes to a stop, you hear a ticking as if that timer gauge is counting down. It's not moving very fast, though. Quick look at it, quick estimate. You think it's going to be 8 hours before that timer resets. About the time you recognize this, the hatch on the egg closest to Doug pops open. Doug, I need you to roll a d6 for me.
With advantage.
No, just roll a d6.
5.
5? This little rat head peers out from the thing and climbs out and comes walking over to you. It's a rat, but it doesn't have fur on its body. Where there would be fur, there are scales like a fish. Iridescent scales, kind of shiny. And as he gets closer to you, you realize he actually has gills as well. But he seems to be doing fine breathing air. And he comes walking over and he just kind of right up to your boot and kind of stops and sniffs you a little bit and then looks up at you.
Rats. I'm just gonna kind of, I don't know, look down and nudge it a little bit with my boot, and
It hops up under your boot.
Does it seem hostile?
No, not at all. Squeaks a little bit.
I'm at a loss, Crixus. What did we do?
Attempt to commune with it.
I'm
I
going
think you
to.
have a friend,
I'm gonna
says Valine.
kind of kneel down on. Which boot is he on, right or left?
Whatever.
Okay,
You're
so
right.
I'm gonna kneel down on my left knee, and so the boot that he's on is kind of in
Mhm.
front of me. I'm gonna kind of look down and go, "Hey, buddy, what
He
you
kind of
doing?"
tips his head to the side.
I'm gonna
He's sniffing you.
stick my hand out to him like you would with a dog.
He jumps up onto your hand.
Well, I mean, he seems friendly.
What armor are you wearing right now?
Uh-oh. That's not a
The
good
cheaper
question.
one.
I love this question because it's not why you guys think it is, but it's great.
I'm wearing my light armor.
Light armor? Okay. So it's not metal or anything.
It is. Hold on.
It's probably metal still.
Light armor?
Studded leather.
Studded leather. Okay, perfect. Yeah. He climbs up onto your glove, and then he kind of climbs up your forearm and up the studs of your arm and sits on your shoulder.
Looks like you got a new friend.
Well, apparently I just adopted a baby ratfish.
Ratfish.
All
Well,
right.
It's a catfish, but it's a rat.
Yeah. We'll call you
Or
Gil.
Gil. There we go.
Good one. Good.
I don't know what. I don't know. All right, whatever, Gil.
Cool. Well, let's find a way to use them.
All right. Anything else in this place, or is just
Not really.
We gotta
Cages. Empty cages.
come back 8 hours from now and figure it out.
So, speaking of 8 hours, I think I was kind of trying to do the math on how much time we might have been here, and I figured it's somewhere 8 hours plus or minus.
Mhm.
Probably more plus is about how long we've been in here.
Probably about 10 hours at this point. So,
Cool.
At some
All
point,
right.
I'm assuming we'll probably need to do a long rest anyways. So, I mean, if we wanted to do a long rest and wait for this thing to pop, this would be the time.
In the middle of the area?
Well, I mean, we can go back to the theater. We can go find a corner to sit in or something.
we are in a building.
Doesn't Feline have the tent to
Valine,
protect
yeah,
us?
Valine said,
Yeah.
"Hey, I can do my hut. We are inside a building already. We'll be out of sight."
I mean, I say why leave and come back? We might not make it back. We might.
Do we
Not
need?
that we would die, but we might end up either
I
forgetting
mean,
about it.
Doug, this is very uncharacteristic. Do we really need more friends with us? Like, do we need to wait 8 hours and do it again? I mean, do we want to spend
Do we know what happens?
another 80 hit points?
Do we know what happens after 8 hours? Is that what happens? It just resets and.
It's a fair assumption.
I don't know. It looks the same as it did before now, except for that timer. Or did anything else change?
Yeah, the timer, the containers are empty of the blood, and the timer's running down, and everything looks the same as it did when you entered in, except the timer's running now.
Well,
does-
there's a few places right outside we probably could spend some time on.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just throwing it out there.
All right. So where would you like to go?
So, looking around inside, is there any other place that we can actually investigate? Are there any other rooms or anything?
Inside here? No.
Yeah.
No, this is a large,
Just a large
open
room?
with this
Okay.
contraption in it. Lined along the walls are cages
All
that
right,
you
we'll come
assume
back
are for
after
holding
8 hours.
creations. You don't know.
There's looks like there's a little tower off to the west. Is that 15?
Yeah.
Let's check out 15.
All right. You all going together, or are you doing your typical Doug fly?
Yeah.
routine?
I'm gonna take flight, not even thinking about my friend. So I don't know if he likes to fly or not, but he's going along for the ride.
He is going to hang on a minute. He's going to make a dex saving throw to try and hang on.
Dig in those claws.
Yeah, you get about 10 feet in the air, and he falls off your shoulder, scrabbling to try
Right.
and.
Crixus
Do you want
will
to try and catch him?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I would assume I would feel him starting to fall, so I would kind of.
Okay, make a dex saving throw to try and catch him.
21.
21. Yes, you absolutely catch him. It's a good thing too because he doesn't have a lot of hit points.
I would assume not.
Hmm.
I would
He's
assume
got-
accidentally stepping on him would probably kill him.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you do catch him in your arm. And I have a question about Eric Okra. Are their arms their wings? Or do they have wings on their back and they have a separate set of arms?
I guess I assumed that.
I mean, either way, it's whether you catch them with your hand or whether you catch them with your beak. One way or another, you're going to catch them.
I mean, I guess I assumed that my arms were my wings.
I assume that too, but then I
I
just
would've-
said you caught them.
I would have went the other way. I'll try to bring up a character. Or,
Yeah, just bring up a picture of one. You'll be able to figure it out relatively quickly. Oh,
Hey,
excuse
way
me.
to remember that mute button.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I got to it. All right, so you guys head to Y15. I mean, we'll have a determination on how you caught your friend in a minute. Flying up, this is a conical tower. It's held relatively upright by arched buttresses. There are some expressionless humanoid figures standing around the base of it in silence. There's a large, ragged hole in the ceiling where something is smashed through it. You look in the hole?
Oh, I always look in the hole.
Looking inside the hole, there's a massive telescope that dominates this chamber up top, and there is a hulking frog-like biped in wizard's robe that is mumbling it to itself and kind of running around and looks at the telescope and kind of looks back and seems to be in its own business, studying or observing or testing something. And there's a large chunk of stone that looks like it came from another building that has crashed through the roof itself and embedded itself in the floor. It's sticking out kind of like a large, jagged knife or something. Some strange writing on it. Similar script, draconic at this point that you recognize, having seen it before.
All right. I'm gonna go back
You
to
hear-
the group. Oh, go ahead.
You hear from below, those of you kind of approaching on the street, as Doug comes sailing back down to you. You hear from below, there's, like, you see the people, the, like, expressionless humanoids standing around like some sort of guard. There's banging on the doors below and on the walls. like something inside is trying to get out.
Do the figures look alive? Not statues?
Correct. They look very alive.
Do they look like they're defending or protecting something, or just
Yep.
milling about?
Yeah, they look like they're defending the tower. As you approach, telepathically, you are told to leave the area. And you can see one of them very specifically. It looks like he is the one communicating with you. It is not safe. Leave the area.
Would I have heard that before rejoining the group?
No.
Okay.
They didn't notice you overhead. They don't expect flying stuff to be entering, and they're guarding the ground level, basically.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to land next to Crixus in the group and say, there's like a frog wizard in the tower. Looks very preoccupied. He didn't notice me, but he seems very hurried, very chaotic. This is the most activity we've seen in this city. This is very unnerving.
Crixus will say the cultists seem to be warning us not to go near the tower. That would tell me there's something worth our interest here.
I'm gonna reach into my pack and eat my last pear.
All right. Huh. All right. Let me.
You got that?
Open a new window here. And what the one freaking chart I didn't bring up was the pear chart. I got the.
So, Crixus, make sure you save.
chart.
Make sure you save yours for next week, so that he has to look it up again one more time.
Uh-huh.
I got mine too, so I'm gonna hold on to that one.
Adventures, Icewind Dale, Caves of Hunger. Where was that? Where's the map? If I can find it by that H36. So I need you to roll a. Hey, look at that, a big purple pear. Need you to roll a d20. Doug, I assume you're not approaching any closer. You've stopped.
Yeah, whatever the group is doing, I'm doing. So
Okay.
I got 5.
So you've kind of stopped and are observing the situation and not approaching, but not turning away either.
Correct.
As you eat a pear.
I got a 5.
A 5. You suddenly feel very witty. So witty, in fact, that you think you might be able to cause damage with your words. You got the charm of vicious mockery.
Ooh.
The 5th level version, DC 15 save. You can use it 3 times, and then this charm will vanish from you.
Oh, 3 uses. Nice.
3 uses of vicious mockery at level 5.
That seems good.
Seems very good. I like vicious mockery. It seems more like something Aranon would have been good at, though.
Oh my God, Aranon would have.
Doug's kind of straightforward. Doug's insults are going to be very blunt, like a hammer.
Mm-hmm. Very vicious.
Club.
Maybe Doug's hearing in his dreams a little bit of the Aranon shield talking to him.
Yeah. All right. So what would you like to do? There are a total of 7 of these guards.
Did you say DC 15? What was it?
Wisdom save.
All right. Well, I mean, the reason to protect something is one of 2 things. Either there's something so valuable they don't want us to have it, or there's something so dangerous they don't want anyone near it.
Mr. DM, was the window, when I looked through it, was it open? Was it like an actual window? Was it broken?
It is a hole in the ceiling.
Oh, it was a hole in the
where
ceiling.
the rock went through
Okay, I gotcha.
from somewhere else.
Okay, so I can. Well, I mean, we can just bypass all this, and I can fly up, and I can just fly into the ceiling and talk to him. If we don't want to risk.
Do you think he speaks your language?
Kermit the
Do you
Frog
speak
does.
Draconic? Because he was writing in Draconic, right? Or he had a.
There was writing on the stone, I think you said. You can't fly me up there, can you?
What?
I'd probably be too heavy.
What is the weight that I could carry?
Carry someone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, interesting questions today.
Might be under your features. I'm assuming if you, well, no, that would be armor
Carrying
related.
capacity. Carry when flying.
By the way, the very first picture on the Aarakocra,
What is your
it does
strength?
have arms and wings separately.
Okay. So you caught it with your hand. You caught your buddy with your hand. How much? What is your strength, Doug?
14 plus 2.
14.
Yeah.
You would be able to. Let's see. You can carry 15 pounds per strength. So 10 would be 150, and another 60, 210 pounds you can carry while flying.
Well, I mean, if Jacob leaves his stuff
How much?
on the
How
ground.
much do you weigh, Jacob?
I'm looking for that. 180 pounds without any gear.
With your armor, you're wearing leather armor. Which is
I am wearing. I have a breastplate. It's 20 pounds.
Ooh, 20 pounds. So you're at 200.
Yep. And there's also the gear that you're wearing, like your armor and.
I'm not going to be overly concerned with that. Just whatever his target is. So if you leave your weapons and your bag behind and you go with just you and your armor, I'll let him take you up there.
What say you, Jacob? Feel like flying?
How tall is the tower?
Scared of
30
heights.
feet, 40
30.
feet.
No, I have Misty Step.
40 feet.
Dang it, so close.
Let's see if that.
Oh, plus we can't get close enough to the base of the tower. They're not going to let us get within 30 feet anyway. So,
We can make them.
Sure. Let's try it.
All right.
Can't hurt, right? So can we cut? We want to fly from somewhere they can't see us though. So not broad daylight here. So let's walk away like we're like, that's too bad. They stopped us from going where we wanted to. We're so sad. And hide around the corner and.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you go hide? Somewhere
Uh,
amongst the buildings to the southeast or southwest, I mean?
Yeah. Because, I mean, we can't go into the dome. Otherwise, we'd have to fly out through the doorway, and they'd see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you go hide somewhere between Y13 and Y14. Go ahead and make a stealth check, Doug, as you go flying up through, trying not to be seen.
How does a 7 tickle you?
You think you're sneaking pretty damn well.
I am the sneakiest.
All right. I'm trying not to wiggle.
About halfway to the tower, I will need you guys to roll initiative.
Well, this will be fun.
As the voice rings in your head again, we told you not to approach.
Oh yeah, they're like telepathic or whatever.
A 7 is not going to get.
I got a 14.
Stealthily past these guys, even in the air.
9er.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Valine at a 1.
Caught us off guard.
5. Let's roll that.
You've got all the gear, Crixus.
Perfect.
And we start. And they go first. The one mage is going to I need a dexterity saving throw from you. Doug, thank you. I kept going Jacob. It's not Jacob. Jacob's being carried. As a lightning bolt arcs out of this guy.
14.
You just manage to dodge to the side as this static discharge launches from the one mage, and you smell the burnt ozone. That burnt smell of electricity as it sears past you.
I'm going to
It's not
yell
your
out,
turn.
"Hold on, Jacob. We're playing Top Gun Life D&D style.
Stay on target.
See, okay, so that doesn't.
Don't leave me,
I
Goose."
gotta fucking write this down.
You want to play volleyball after this?
Very topical.
I need another dexterity saving throw. You. As a second one comes flying up at you,
14.
and you dodge back the other way.
Mm.
One more time, because there's a third one of these.
Ooh, perfect.
Oh, not so hot. 7.
All right. You dodge the first two, and you smell this coming around you. The third one actually hits you square. You take 28 points of damage. You can have that between the two of you because you're carrying someone.
Oh,
So you each take 14 points of lightning damage
Sure.
as a lightning bolt.
Did I just turn into a lightning rod?
That's funny because I had a 50-50 shot and I chose poison over lightning between the two that I was going to bring TK and as. Oops.
Jacob, have you ever smelled burnt feathers before?
Kind of smells like roasted chicken.
Then
Chicken.
does
Like Hanson's.
that's a 5. That does not hit you. These other ones start shooting light crossbows at you. 17 hit you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My armor class is 17. So yeah.
My question is, Doug, is do you try and take the hit? You see it coming, do you try and take the hit, or do you put Jacob in front of you?
Let's see here. So the way I picture it, I'm flying, but I'm holding him like in a bear hug with my arms and legs wrapped around him. So I'm kind of holding him like one of those bombers and like you see, and then I would just let him go and he would drop. But
Do you roll around so the arrow hits you, or do you let it hit him? That's my question.
Yeah,
you have a choice of where this damage goes.
I would roll.
You would roll and take the damage. All right.
I would. Aranon would
So
not.
nice.
I would.
So nice.
So you take 7 points of piercing damage as the second arrow released hits you. Third arrow coming.
Good lord, how many people are
There are
attacking
7
before
of
us?
these guys.
7.
This is number 6. 22 to hit.
Yeah.
And that is 10 points of piercing damage. That was a ghetto crit. Now it's your turn, Doug.
If I turn
The third
around,
one rolled in between you guys somewhere.
if I turn around, do they get an AOE?
If you turn around, no, you're
You're
at
in the
range
air.
right now. You're in the air. You can turn around and go back.
How close did I end up getting to the tower?
You're about halfway there.
And so I would not have.
I mean, you could double move into the tower and be out of firing range.
Okay, that was my question: is how much movement? Because my flying speed is the same as my walking speed, right?
Yep. No, your fly speed is your fly speed, but I don't know what that is. I'd have to look at your character. It should be right next to your walking speed.
If you click on walking speed, it says flying 50. So
There you go.
that's way good. Cool.
You could easily get in. If you double move, I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw to hit the hole without dropping or hurting yourself.
So it's more than 50 feet away.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to double. I will double dash.
Double dash. Dexterity saving throw to hit the hole.
That's what she said.
Almost there.
Oh, not good. 6.
Jacob, I need you to make a dexterity saving
I was
throw.
gonna say, can I leap for it?
We're coming in
Think
hot.
thin. Think thin. Pull
Coming
thin.
in hot.
Toss me.
Why they put the big numbers next to the small numbers makes it so dramatic. 24. It landed well.
You suddenly maneuver yourself in a way that you see you're about to collide with something, and you tuck yourself in and pull yourself kind of to the side. Doug, you wonder what the fuck is going on. He's trying to move suddenly, and you're just worried about getting in this hole. You make it in. You make it in, and you kind of crash land on the ground. Jacob, you roll up to your feet, and Doug, you're kind of a pile of feathers and wings and
I'm down.
wings on the
And I'm
floor.
hurt.
The green slot in the wizard robe turns and looks at you guys for a second, then just goes back to what it's doing.
Well, that's good.
You are like the buzzing of flies to him.
If we're still in initiative, then I think it's my go.
He's Vigo, and we're out of initiative. They can't see you.
Okay.
Wait 1 second. Let me verify that they cannot fly. I don't think they can.
Oh, that would be uncool.
No, they can't fly. So, you guys are out of visual range for them. And yeah, they don't seem to... Crixus, you peek around the corner and look, and you saw the lightning go off in the sky and went, what the fuck? And you peek around the corner and look at them, and you and Valine kind of look at each other and... Well, they got in the tower. Yeah, and as you're observing these guys, they kind of go back. They kind of look at each other and all confer and shrug and then go back to standing guard.
Oh, worst
Below
guards
you,
ever.
We don't see that, but that's an important clue on what they're doing here.
Jacob and Doug, several floors below you, you hear banging and screaming like a rampaging animal is running around wild downstairs. What would you like to do? We're out of initiative.
All right. I knowing that the goal here was find the draconic script, so first thing I'll do, I'll try to find that in case we need to beat a hasty retreat.
I'm just gonna
I'm
lay on
sorry.
the ground for 2 seconds and kind of collect myself and put out any burning feathers.
Okay, Crixus, did you want to do anything?
Crixus was waiting for an opportunity to cast a spell, but seeing his friends like get through the window and watching some of the guards' movements, do they look like they're still interested in the window, or did they kind of turn back to the outside world to see what's going on?
Make an insight check.
20?
You get the feeling that their purpose is to prevent anybody from going inside. Like this ground level.
So I guess what I'm saying is they didn't open up the door and storm inside in order to extract whoever got inside. Okay.
No. In fact, you see one of them go to the door and kind of inspect the seams of the door.
Make sure it's still.
Make sure it's still sealed, and then they go back to guarding.
Okay. So Crixus is gonna stay hidden then and just say, The boys got in. Damn lucky.
Very. There's a lot of lightning, he says. All right. So you gather yourself, Doug. Kind of brush your couple of stray feathers off that were sticking off. Weird. Jacob. You're looking, you understand what you wanted to do. You're going and looking at this slab of stuff sitting out of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
The inscription on it reads, Third, a burnt palm loosens the tongue. Shed a secret about yourself for all to hear.
One more time.
Third, a burnt palm loosens the tongue. Shed a secret about yourself for all to hear.
Okay.
The green slad's going about her business. She's fiddling with the telescope. And she runs over to a table and she's writing numbers down on the table and diagrams. And she goes back and she fiddles with the telescope some more and is looking up it.
All right. Without walking around, can I just make an observational investigation of the room besides telescope, writing table, and the scientist?
There isn't a lot in here. This telescope is massive. It's like an observatory telescope. Think of our observatories. There isn't much in there. There's a set of stairs leading up to the base that the telescope's sitting on. It's pointing out the roof. There's a large desk on the one wall. And a staircase headed down.
I have a decent intelligence, and I'm thinking, like, what good would a telescope be underneath a sheet of ice in this cavern?
Check.
Heyo. Natural 20 for 23.
You believe that somehow there is some form of teleportation magic linked to this telescope.
That seems like the only logical conclusion I would come to, is that there's got to be some... I mean, we're in a city of magic. There's a telescope that she seems actively using.
Yeah, make an insight check as well. You can have it at advantage because of your nature. And
all right, the first one was a 15. Let's see if I can do better than that. Nope, 15.
15. You think with the knowing that there's teleportation magic linked to this, you think that this creature may be trying to get somewhere else. Maybe trying to get home. Maybe might not be here of its own accord.
Jacob, find out what they're doing. I'm assuming you can talk to them, right? Maybe I can talk to them. I don't know. Maybe they speak.
I can certainly try. I think the closest thing we had to speaking with them is either going to be Draconic or Elvish. I'll start with Elvish and just say, "Hello, friend. What you working on?"
As you approach her, she bares her fangs at you, hisses and growls, being
Say
very
something
standoffish, tempting you to, or trying to intimidate you.
Okay. Being from where I'm from and the time I've spent here, do I understand what kind of creature this is?
No. I don't even think they exist in Eberron. I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm going to go with, I don't think...
somewhere, but no, they're not as prevalent as they are in the Sword.
I don't think she wants us here, Doug. And I don't have any weapons.
Did we get what we came for?
Yeah, I'll tell him what the message said. The third, a burnt palm loosens the tongue. Shed a secret about yourself for all to hear. And so I mean, The telescope seems weird. It's got some kind of magic around it. Seems like teleportation. Maybe that would be helpful for me at some point, but I'm not sure it gets us where we're going right now.
Well, I mean, if you want it, take it now, because I don't think we're going to make it back to this unless we go through what we went through to get in here the first time. And I can't guarantee we're going to be this lucky.
I mean, I can resummon Tika as a distraction if we wanted to try.
What are you gonna try and do?
So does it seem like she's guarding the telescope?
No, it seems like she's trying to use it to her advantage to maybe move herself elsewhere.
Okay. So if I move towards the telescope, does she get more aggressive?
Yes.
Okay.
So we would just need to straight up jack her and and take it and run. The question is, how heavy is the telescope?
No, it's not. I don't think it's movable. It's
not
like
movable. It's massive.
like planetarium.
Oh, you're talking like you're
Observatory
talking.
telescope. Like
Okay, I was.
it takes up most of the room. It's probably weighs about 1,000 to 2,000 pounds.
I was picturing like those ones that you have in your house that are like almost like a professional one that's like really long.
No.
Okay.
There's
Yeah,
the
we
one
can't
where you
take
have
that.
a big dome that opens up and you have a lens on it that's like 20 feet wide.
Fair enough.
And is there a door?
There's a door and stairs
Hold that thought.
leading down.
The thought is being held.
Crixus, what are you and Valine doing out here? In between.
Getting nervous because I don't see my friends coming back out the window.
Is there nervous enough to do
Everything's-
anything yet, or still hanging out?
Everything's fine.
We're all fine here.
How are you?
Let's see.
Negative. Large reactor leak, very dangerous.
I think I'm gonna.
Alright.
I guess so.
He's okay. Yeah,
Hang
go
on.
ahead.
Crixus is gonna like kind of walk out from around the building and peer up into the window, see if he can see any commotion or anything like that. He needs to get a little closer though.
As you approach, you are told telepathically, "Sir, please turn around. Please leave the premises. Your friends may be lost to the monster inside." Almost to punctuate that, there's a beating on the door, which now that you look at it carefully, you can see it's been welded shut.
Well,
From the inside, we're like, we should try going out the front door.
I certainly didn't like to hear that. So, I'm gonna just try to use thaumaturgy and just speak loudly and say, "Doug, you good?"
You hear this ring out from outside. Doug, you hear, "Doug, you good?" And it's Crixus's voice, very loud, clear, amplified.
Alright, so
Oddly enough, I have thaumaturgy also.
call back and yell, "Yeah, we're good."
I'll cast thaumaturgy and
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
So you
All right.
you faintly hear Doug yell, "Yeah, we're good."
All right,
And
then
I'm fine.
Crixus just puts his hands up like the cultist, like, settle down, and then back up a little bit.
Okay. Doug, Jacob, what are you doing?
Alright. So I'm gonna kind of like gesture for Jacob to come over, and I'm gonna kind of whisper to him. I can cast Hold Person if you want to get a closer look. It's good for like a minute. And then we can, run if we need to, or I can, cast Command and have them flee, or, grovel, or whatever. there's a couple things we can do to.
I mean, a minute is hopefully all I would need to look through the telescope and see what it's all about. I'm not sure it's going to give us anything, but until I look through, I won't know.
All right. Well, let's start there.
Do you want to spend a spell to do that?
I mean, this could be helpful, right?
All right. See if you can hold him for a minute.
All right, John, make a wisdom saving throw.
Here we go.
Wisdom saving throw. Ooh. This bodes well for you. Oh my gosh, laggy. Ooh, a 15.
Oh, just failed. You needed to hit a 16.
Ooh,
Rolled the 16, has a -1 wisdom.
nice
Good
for the
hold
win.
person.
All right, so for those
soon-
listening, choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends on the target. At higher levels, when
Okay.
you cast a spell using a spell... Oh, I don't have third slot.
All
Okay.
right. So it's going to struggle. What would you like to do? You get an action.
Soon
We're
as-
kind
yeah,
of
as soon
going
as
in
I
a
see that
modified
it's-
initiative thing here.
As soon as I see that she's not moving, I'm gonna run to the telescope and try to take a look.
Movement and action to look inside of it. You look inside and you see a starry sky.
Is it like the
Okay.
painting?
What was that?
I said, is it like this? Is it like the painting?
Starry Night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a little smudgy. Does it anything look familiar? Like in that 1 6-second shot there, anything look familiar with the stars? That it's like, oh, obviously this is like something,
No.
a constellation or anything familiar.
No, nothing about it looks familiar.
Okay, anything about it look completely bizarre? Like purple lights or just looks like stars. Okay.
Starry sky.
I
All right,
would
I
say
see.
the fact that
see
you're
stars.
looking at stars and we're underground would be kind of weird.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that strikes you as a little bit strange.
Mm-hmm.
She's struggling against the spell.
Yeah. If she's still not coming at me, I guess I would try to look some more and see if there's anything other than stars. I mean, I'm not going to be an expert on stars, but anything I can glean from it.
Um, looking at it again. No, there isn't anything. Looking up at it, you're trying to puzzle it together, but what you see doesn't reference any star chart or constellation that you're familiar with on Eberron or the Sword Coast. It looks like
Okay.
a completely foreign sky, but it doesn't seem to be directed at any one thing either.
Mm.
Um,
All right.
she makes a vocalization as she's struggling against the spell. Some more.
All right. Oh, I'm not going to get any more information out of that. I'll head back over to Doug.
Okay, so you move
And-
back to Doug with your movement. What do you
Okay,
have?
we got a door and we got a hole in the ceiling. What do you think? Actually, is the telescope pointed towards the hole in the ceiling or just a random wall?
It's actually pointed out a hole in the ceiling that was designed for the telescope. That is
Okay.
different than the hole that you guys flew through, which was broken from this large slab of
Okay.
building.
What do you think? Door or ceiling?
Almost to
Well-
punctuate that, you hear the monster roar and something crash in the floors below you.
Hmm.
I am inclined to go back through the ceiling, because if we go
Yeah.
through the door, then we have to fight our way out through those 7 people that burned me
Yeah.
and hit me with lightning.
Was
and
the
maybe a pincushion?
on the way in? Was there a relatively flat area on the roof that would be okay for standing?
No, it was a dome.
Okay.
I mean, maybe you might be able to get out and balance on it. Take a dexterity
Okay.
check to stay out
Yeah,
there.
it's one of those like, would it be worth a misty step to get me out there so you don't have to try to pull me through?
Nah, that's. I mean,
I mean, you could misty step to a point above ground 20 feet and fall 20 feet and try and make a deck save to land on your feet if you want to.
Let's see.
She
None
I've
of
got
that-
some
against the
things.
spell
None of that
some
sounds
more.
like a good idea.
When
right.
she struggles this time, Doug, you feel your spell weakening.
All right. I can actually I think I can get myself out of this. Wait, let's see. Misty Step is. No, I'm thinking. Oops, I clicked to use it.
Oh, and just like that.
Oh, I have to.
Doug
I have to be
suddenly
able to.
disappears. Or Jacob suddenly
Misty
disappears.
Step, I have to actually be able to see. So, what can I see through the hole in the roof?
You can see the ground. It's a little bit further away than your distance that you can Misty Step, though. So, like I said, you can end up about 20 feet above ground and drop 20 feet.
Make up your mind, Jacob. I can't hold her much longer.
Yeah. All right. Get yourself out.
You notice she starts moving.
Yeah. I'll cast the Misty
The
Step.
hole breaks. You cast the Misty Step.
I'm
Go
gonna-
ahead
I'm
and
gonna
make a
actually-
dexterity.
I'm gonna cast it, and I'm gonna do as high as I can see 30 feet away.
As high as you can
Like
see.
I basically want to be a full 30 feet away from the tower if I can.
Okay, you're gonna
So
drop
whatever
40
elevation
feet.
we're.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
that's the
drop 40
plan.
feet.
My reaction then is to then cast Featherfall.
Okay.
If that's. I don't know if I can do that on the same.
Misty
turn.
Step out. Misty Step out. In reaction to falling, you can cast Featherfall.
Okay.
Doug, what are you doing?
Well, as soon as he bamps out, I'm going to use my wings to like launch myself backwards and up to the hole, and then
Does an
release my
18
hold.
hit your AC?
18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you go flying towards this hole, and while you're flying towards this hole, you are hit by a flame. And like she hurled a flame at you,
More charred
Mm.
feathers. I'm gonna
and
need
you
'em.
take 19 points of fire damage.
It burns. It burns.
Still standing, Doug?
That
Yeah.
sounds bad. You going out the window then? You expediting your flight out the window?
Damn straight I am.
Do you stop at the window? Or at the hole? You
No.
said initially you were going to stop at the hole, but that's before you knew she was throwing fire at you. Do you stop at the hole then?
No, not a chance.
No? Okay.
I'm out.
Good.
I'm out.
Good. You're out. She runs to the hole and throws flame out the hole at the two of you randomly, not really trying to hit you, just trying to scare you away. And then if you could actually see her, she shrugs and goes back to observing or whatever she's observing through the telescope.
Did Crixus get a good glimpse of the frog wizard through the hole?
You saw her head, yeah. And the fire come out and Jacob's suddenly falling.
Yeah.
And you panic for a moment until you realize he landed on the ground safely, and Doug's landing near Jacob with singed feathers.
All you see is like a airline jet stream behind me of smoke.
Yeah. Making my way over to
Making my way downtown.
where my
Funny, I don't even know if Tom knows the reference.
No,
that
I'm-
is like on a level that
yeah.
they do that all the time on Critical Role. Tom,
Oh,
use that exact song Making My
Every
Way.
time.
Oh.
Every time someone says "Making My Way." It's
And
fantastic.
they've expanded it to anytime anyone says doing anything any certain way, like walking my way or
Mhm.
climbing my way or yeah. So I'll sneak my way around back to where Crixus is and to get my gear,
All right.
trying to avoid the telepathic figures.
A smoky Doug and a somewhat rattled Jacob show up. Crixus.
How was your experience, man?
I've had better.
As he's putting out the feathers.
I've had better.
I'll explain what we saw and the telescope. I'll kind of explain the telescope thing more to Valine because she might have an idea of what it is. And I will tell them the message from that was in Draconic.
They've
Were
never
you
heard
able to
anything.
talk to the wizard before she started to hurl the magic at you?
Oh, there's no
I
talking.
talked to her, but she just growled and hissed back. So
Not hospitable.
I've met
no, and
wizards
she
like
won't
this
be letting
before.
us in there anytime soon either.
I would
Did you
say that
find
if
out?
we could kind of steer clear of that tower from here on out, that would make me happy.
Did you find out what is being held inside?
It was loud and bangy.
Indeed. Whatever it is seems very dangerous.
All right. So we got another part to the message, to the saying, to the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a second to look around the courtyard or where we're at, just to see if there's anything of like a building that we should be going into or checking, or
In this courtyard, you're looking opposing ends. Two things grab your interest. One, Y13 looks like it's some sort of shopping center, market type place, bazaar. Looking towards Y14, there are a bunch of silks hanging off the wall that draw your attention. Colorful silks, drapes on the building.
I think we should get inside for a couple minutes and regroup. Let's go to the mall.
I'm into it.
Heading towards Y13. This large market sits at one end of this plaza. There's 4 broken towers leaning inward on it, and faded pennants hang above the entrance. They're frozen stiff. It's a loud clatter that resounds from inside the hall. Peeking inside, there's a bunch of shelves and other items that are knocked over. There's an iron golem running around the inside of this place, trampling things and knocking things over and damaging the entire inside of this place. And you notice it is missing its head.
Yeah, that's not disturbing at all.
Make an intelligence check.
I am not smart. 3.
I got this. 23.
23. Jacob, thinking back on it, you remember talking to Iron Golem head earlier in the cave.
Like
you think
that-
this might be the body that belonged to that head.
I mean, that head that was like 20 feet tall or 10, it was huge.
It was 10 feet tall. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So this is
once for yes, twice for no. Yeah.
this is okay. So this is a huge. I mean, this is iron. This is like.
It was a 20-foot tall headless golem. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think that head's gonna fit through the tunnels to get here. So, is there anything in here that looks like we might need?
No, unless you want some garbage. Everything
No.
is smashed in here. That doesn't
Okay.
look like anything. Some of it might have been of value when it was one piece, but now most things are like hundreds of pieces.
I'm going to back out and say, well, maybe let's try the other building.
Yeah.
So I'm going to head down to the silk banner area.
You head down to Y14. There are silken drapes that hang from the walls of the storefront, and the surfaces are swirling with like illusion images of dragon's fire and twinkling star fields. There's another group of these emotionless figures standing guard. They look like frozen statues, though. They don't seem to be active or moving.
I wonder if they're like the frozen statues that weren't really frozen at the other place. Or do they have like the sheen of ice around them?
These ones, well, they look like the ones from the other place, but they aren't moving. And these are the ones that were equipped with the crossbows that shot at you.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't seem to react to you approaching at all.
I'm going to just kind of look at them very warily and go to the front door.
Yeah, they don't seem to move at all. This large archway in front of you has some silks hanging just at the top of it, but you're easily able to walk underneath them and into the main store where there are several silks hanging, long silk drapes, cloaks, other things made of silk and illusion hanging on the walls. At the peak of this dome, there are 4 phase spiders sitting in the rafters. They seem non-threatening. They're sitting there. There are 5 of the Magen that like shot the lightning at you, just watching over the rest of the silks and stuff and merchandise. There are tables laid out. There is in the center of it, there are crystal mannequins draped in silk robes and stuff. And they encircle an empty pedestal. There's stairs leading up to that pedestal.
Are they guarding the pedestal, or are they just guarding everything?
They're just watching over. They move around about the store, looking at stuff, setting stuff in order. They look like shopkeepers guarding this.
And
area.
The whole place is nothing but drapery?
Drapery and silk cloaks and scarves and anything that you could make out of silk is hanging all over the place here. And there's long, beautiful dresses. A lot of them have like flame images at the bottom. That it's like illusory flame that kind of like the bottom of it is burning, but it's not actually burning, it's an illusion. Or a star field that moves as you move around it. One of them's got clouds that roll past.
May I please cast Detect Magic to look for some
That's
cool
hilarious.
magical
Detect
items?
magic. This whole place lights up in illusionary magic. All these robes are illusion enchanted silk robes.
Are there any robes that have what seems like more than illusory magic? Something that might be more beneficial to our quest? Something more powerful than that?
There is illusory magic on the pedestal as well, but nothing beyond illusions. Illusions and silk is. You get the idea that this might have been some sort of shop where they bought robes and fancy robes and tried to one up each other with the illusions on the robes. And
You said there's a pedestal. Is there anything on the pedestal?
no,
Is
it
that
actually
more of
looks
a-
like it's designed for standing on, like
Showing off, modeling.
like showing off or modeling, or maybe like how you'd stand to have your measurements taken. Stand up on a little stool like that. Looks like something like that.
Does anybody need a new cloak?
My question is, do any of the cloaks look like they would be useful as camouflage?
Yeah, there's one that's like a woodlands. There's one that is literally like got a snowstorm illusion blowing over it. Anything you can think of that you would see is all over the place here. Some look like rippling shadows.
How much are these cloaks?
No one responds to you. They're
Oof. I am gonna go to the snow one and pick it up and kind of look around. Like,
that draws the attention of two of the mages near you. They both take interest in you immediately.
I am going to hold it up and say, "How much?"
They shake their head.
Do you take
Hmm.
trade?
Doesn't seem
They
like
shake
they
their head.
common.
One of them
Hey,
points at the pedestal.
Yeah, Doug, I think you need to be fitted for it first.
All right, I'm going to point to the drapery and then point to the pedestal and then go like, "Huh?"
The one points to the drapery and then points to the table and then points at you and points to the pedestal.
All right, so I'm gonna put it down and I'm gonna go up to the pedestal.
Okay, the second you step on the pedestal, an illusion
I get jettisoned into
appears in
space.
front of you. It's a magnificently dressed human. And he flickers to life and he says, "Hello, I am Silksmith Mixel. What would you be liking today?" And as he's talking, the phase spiders slowly drop down from the ceiling and start taking your measurements. They start measuring your wings and your inseam and your arm length and your chest circumference
Nice.
and your head. And he says, "Any illusion you like in a cloak is available to you. You just need tell me what you like, and we shall provide."
I am quite fond of the snow illusion. Can you make it look like snowdrifts?
Yeah, absolutely. Imagine exactly what you want it to look like. Think about that in your mind. And as he's talking, Valine and Jacob and Crixus, you see these phase spiders start spinning this silken gown, and they make this perfectly fitting cloak. It's got reliefs for his wings and a hood that comes up, and the entire thing is woven with illusions of the snow illusion that Doug is thinking of as they're piecing this together. The whole process takes about 10 minutes. And when they're done, he is draped in this beautiful silk illusory garment. And they pull up into the sky.
Nice.
Hey, spoiler alert for the DM. When I created my character, I never allotted for any type of gold.
Yeah.
I would have, I mean, being an adventurer, I would have money and cash and gold, but I just never.
The silksmith looks at you and says, "Are you pleased with your design?"
I love it.
Fantastic.
It is glorious work.
Good day, then. And he nods and slowly disappears.
Wow.
Right? I'm going to get down off the pedestal.
Badass.
And no one does anything. A couple of them look at you and then go back to laying about.
Wow.
You notice one of them has folded the one robe that you had picked up with the clouds on it.
Crixus is gonna look at Jacob like, "Are you next?"
I think I'm good. I'm good.
Don't you think you would like to have something, if not for now, for after this adventure? Don't you think something woodland or something to help you with
Well, you guys are discussing this. Valina's walked up on the pedestal.
Nice.
And he introduces himself again. You can tell it's like a running programmed magic. And the spiders come down and take all her measurements. And she, as it's being woven up on her, you notice it's almost an icy urban camouflage type pattern that she thinks of. You see like the edges of the building. She's been thinking about the structures and the towers and the different brick you're seeing around this place, and ice and frozen and stuff like that, and that her whole robe just kind of gently shimmers with that. After the 10 minutes, she steps down. She said, "Oh, there, that might help me hide a little better." And she pulls the hood up.
She's
Suggest you guys both get one, if you can.
I mean, Crixus stands firm with his cloak of billowing, and it just billows behind him, and he says, "Oh, I am good."
Fair enough. Jacob?
Oh man, on the spot, what do I choose? Sure, I'll go up there.
Okay. What do you think of as
All right,
base
Jacob.
taking measurements?
Jacob's gonna just start thinking of, he does a lot of traveling in the woods. Not a lot of need for camouflage, but he's picturing what would be good looking as kind of that, the shadows of, filtered trees in a small grassy area where, as the wind rustles the leaves, the shadows kind of move around. So not necessarily looking specifically for camouflage, but just for that kind of peaceful, quiet wood scene of a small clearing.
As it's woven up, you'd see the shadows below you, and as they kind of blow gently like in a breeze, and as it's built up towards the top of it, you get like a bush or leaves from some sort of like the underbrush of a forest, and that's kind of gently blowing, giving reality to the shadows that are blowing below by your feet. And when it's all done, you pull the hood up, and Valine's actually very impressed. She's like, "You could probably disappear in the forests of the Sword Coast easily enough."
Cool.
Let's see. As you guys
Here's a
step
question.
down- Yes.
How many robes can I actually get?
Ooh, that is an interesting question. You want to step on the pedestal again?
I do.
You step up onto the pedestal. You place one foot up there and the other foot up there. And we'll stop right there.
Intriguing.
I love it. I'm
And there it is.
I'm a world traveler. It would help to have one in snow and one in like a rock,
Yeah,
like
no
a
kidding,
rock,
right?
you know.
As long as the spiders don't shit on your dreams, literally.
I mean, isn't that what?
Isn't that what they
Silk
did?
is? Yeah.
They basically shit your
They
dreams.
just shit all over me.
Oh, yeah. We get that. And then we're getting there. We're getting there, boys. What do we got? It was 13 and 14, so we got 11, 12, 9, 10.
The more I think about it, the more maybe Crixus wants to see if they can turn his cloak of billowing into some kind of technicolor dream cloak
Dream cloak.
For-
Crixus in the Technicolor dream cloak.
for the Bard show, right?
Yeah. Any dream will
Swear
do.
Yeah, just what we need. Like Jacob and I to be like blending into the surroundings and hiding, and then this big rainbow-colored billowing cloak just strutting down the road.
Crixus
Give
coming
me
out
my
like
colored cloak.
like My Little Ponies, and you guys just kind of hiding in the background.
Yeah. Oh man. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
You're the bait.
6, 7, 8. 8 more places to explore. 9, 10.
Awesome.
We skipped a couple.
Well, you've made your way around. Well.
Hmm.
And let's
Okay,
see,
yeah.
Doug still has a friend, right? So
Yeah. There's still a little.
Ooh, can I get matching cloaks for my little friend?
oh, you're talking.
So what do you
Alright.
have? You have 1, 8, 6, 5, and 3. Jeff. I know you've been keeping track.
What was
of
that?
You for the right of the arcane octave, you have 1, 8, 6, 5, and 3,
And 4.
and 4.
We're missing 2 and 7.
Awesome.
All right. Cool. We are working our way through this. Cool.
All right. Well, we are Two Nerds One Quest. We are here every Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. We will be back here next week. The following week, we will still be here, but minus DMJC. So we will be doing probably one of our little side quests. So put that on your calendar. Oh,
I
wait.
don't know.
Oh,
if that's-
2 weeks from now
I-
is when you guys are all
Oh,
gone.
that's right.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think 2
thinking
weeks
it
from now
was May
everyone's
yet.
gone.
I was thinking we were still in May. Holy crap. 2
Yeah,
weeks.
So June 5th, we'll all be here.
Yep.
June 12th, we will all be off.
Gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's correct. I was thinking the other way around.
And then the 19th is Father's Day. Do a Father's Day?
I would be okay doing a Father's Day one. It's up to you,
I'm good.
Jeff and
Should be.
Crixus.
Okay.
Jeff and Ryan.
We can play it by ear, and we can make something up on the fly if we need to.
Fantasy becomes reality.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Exactly.
we are here 8:30 a.m. Central Time, Sundays. Give us some support. Follow the channel if you are in chat. Hit that little like button. Get notified when we go live. We love seeing everybody here, even if nobody talks. It's cool that we have people actually watching us do this. We're not in it for the money. We're in it for the fun. Because quite frankly, if we weren't doing it here, we'd be doing it anyways. So,
Fair.
yeah. If you enjoy podcasts, this comes out in podcast form through Patreon. That'll be in a couple hours. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, the podcast will be available at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. Free for everyone. The show is free. Doesn't cost you a thing. So all we ask is that you share it with other people. Let other people know that this is a thing and that you are enjoying it. And if you're not enjoying it, tell people otherwise. Hey, I'm still liking it. Lie to them. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Pretend you like it. Yeah, that's all I got for today. My brain is kind of... My brain is on vacation mode because I know I don't have to work tomorrow. So, there's that.
Perfect.
Truth.
Yeah.
Truth.
So for me, for Jeff, for Ryan, and for John, we'll catch you next week. There we go.
We got an empty chair going there.